Welcome, fans, to another special episode of Rangers Ed. This is your host, Cousin Ed. I'm here with my co-host, Coach Ed. What's up, Coach? Go to you first.
What's going on, boys?
That Ranger room is looking really clean. I don't know if it's just the angle of the camera or what, but mine is not nearly as clean looking as yours right now. And we
Well,
got
that's
little.
why I have it tucked in this corner. The rest of the room's a disaster.
We got little Ed over there with the always a clean Ranger room. What's up, little Ed?
It's not always clean by any means. I always clean it right before the show. Trust me. It's a disaster in here half the time in Little Ed's workshop.
Yeah, would you got a sign behind you? It says Rangers Ed Podcast. I didn't see that. Is that new?
No, it's always been back there, but it's usually blocked by Suiter's Sweet Treats or something else we're trying to promote or whatever. Yeah, it's a little light up sign. It says Little Ed's Workshop, Rangers Ed Podcast.
Nice. I like that. I like that.
Is
And
it
Mikey,
backwards for you guys? It's backwards on my screen.
No, it's forwards.
No.
It's forwards.
No, it's good.
And we got Mikey Produces with his Mark Messier jersey. I love it. Bringing the vibes, good vibes to the pod. What's up, Mikey?
What's going on, boys? Just so you know, I actually paint my walls white every time we record.
They're crisp and clean. I mean, geez. Yeah, I mean, boys, nothing's easy, right? We got a lot to talk about. This team does not make anything easy. You guys will be there Saturday. Now you know it'll be 8 p.m., Game 6. So, fans, if you're going to Game 6, look out for Coach Ed and Little Ed. They'll be up in, section 322?
Yep, 322. I guess I called it before the series started that we'd be there, hopefully for the series clincher. So, big win tomorrow, and Coach Ed and I will be sitting on the edge of our seats for about 60 minutes straight, if not longer.
Clenching for the whole game.
Tightening.
Cheeks clenched.
Cheek to cheek.
Yeah, so we got a lot to cover, so let's get into it. But obviously we're not doing any jersey numbers, but everyone this time of year is wearing their favorite jerseys like Mikey Produces here during the games. Let's throw it over to our boy Oscar.
Our buddy Oscar, a huge Rangers fan himself, started his company by stitching his own blue shirts. Once he perfected his craft and started to fall in love with his work, the man started to grow. Oscar stitches every jersey with love and dedication to authenticity, which never disappoints. His talent is hard to find in any store out there. Are you like Cousin Ed? You have a lingering jersey curse that every player he gets a jersey of gets traded or injured and hurts the Rangers team? You want to change things up? You want to take an Eric Lindros jersey and make it a vintage Ken Hodge jersey in the late 70s? Got an old jersey collecting dust in your closet? Want to throw your name on the back and add a nice number of one of your favorite players? You can bring it back to life with a brand new kit at Oscar's Pro Stitch. So head on over to Oscar's Instagram at Oscars PSH. That's OSCARS PSH to check out the countless tarps he's already done and to place the order for his next one that possibly can post on Instagram and get ready to wear it to the next Ranger game or any event that you have coming up. Tell them the boys from Rangers Ed sent you and receive a special discount at Oscar's Pro Stitch Hockey. Go get them, Rangers.
Yeah, definitely check out Oscar. He's got great jerseys, and it's good this time of year to rock your favorite jersey during the playoffs. So we left off. We covered Game 1 last week, boys. 5-1 win. Game 2, another 5-1 win. Last time the Rangers opened playoffs with back-to-back wins by 4 or more goals was 1994. Just throwing that out there against the Islanders. They followed that up, though, coming home to the Garden with a chance to sweep or at least make it a short series. They lose in overtime in Game 3, 2-1. Dougie Hamilton with the game-winning goal. And Game 4, a 3-1 loss. Late goal by Jonas Siegenthaler. I think his 8th NHL goal. To give the Devils the win. Igor Shesterkin played well in both games. Let's just start with, this is a bad time to record this podcast because I feel like it's not as sullen of a situation as it feels because of the timing. It's after Game 4. But if you told me before the series that it would be 2-2 going into Game 5, I would have been okay with that. I would have been expecting it almost. But Gerard Gallant, coach, I want to start with you. Not too happy with the game 4 performance, and that's why we have that bad taste in our mouth. So he says, we didn't show up. We didn't play hard enough. We didn't compete hard enough. All we did was yell at the linesman for getting thrown out of the face-offs. A lot of bad things. Very unlike Gallant to call out his players. He's a player's coach. He always defends his guys. What's your take on that approach by Gallant?
Well, he has said before that he didn't call out a single player. He called out the players as a team. I mean, they were all getting frustrated, and it was a hard game for us to watch. So I can only imagine that it's a hard game for him to watch. The competitive level wasn't there. They weren't racing for pucks. The forecheck was weak, but they were still able to have a chance to win the game. That's the I guess the good part. So if they could just step it up a couple of notches tomorrow night, we should be doing a little better.
Yeah, but I guess my question is more like, what's the approach of the coach here? I know you're saying that he's done this before. I watched most all of Gallant's interviews, and he very rarely comes that close to calling out a specific player. I mean, to me, I thought he was calling out Mika Zibanejad, to be honest with you. Because Zibanejad was the one complaining constantly getting thrown out of the faceoff circle, and he was being a little dramatic about it. I don't know, Little Ed, did you feel that way? He also mentioned the top 6 forwards got to be better. They got to be more productive, right? So to me, he's telling his big guns, stop whining and put the puck in the net.
Yeah, as fans, it definitely gets frustrating, but as players, you got to just play through it. I mean, the same way you got to play through the chippiness or referees not calling certain plays and that kind of thing. You got to play through the referees not dropping the puck or whatever they were doing. I mean, like I said, it was getting frustrated as fans. We still don't really 100% understand the rule itself. So maybe there's somebody out there listening that knows the rule or knows what's going on out there. Please message us. But yeah, I mean, it is frustrating.
Well, your
like
boy
I said,
explained it. Your boy explained it, right? It's like cheating, like getting a false start, kind of.
Yeah, but he didn't really know what.
No, he didn't.
He didn't really know it either. It's like dealing with the IRS. You never get a straight answer.
Yeah, I think it's really just the NHL is the only league that I've seen like really take it seriously. Other than that, yeah, it's frustrating, but the players got to play through it. Just win the faceoff. What's the big deal? I mean, I didn't notice them complaining to the refs that often, but I guess they probably were doing it on the bench, and the coaches heard on the bench. I did want to add, though, the last time Gallant called out his players, I think he called them soft earlier this season. And since then, the tide really changed. So they're not used to Gallant calling them out. They're used to him just being a player's coach. So maybe him calling them out will definitely create some kind of a spark. Like I said, they're used to the other way around.
That's a good point.
Mikey, you agree, Mikey?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with Eddie now that he just said that. Not hearing it all season from Gallant, and for him to finally actually come out and say it to everyone in front of the media, it's kind of like, okay, maybe we should shut up and just play the game.
I liked it. I mean, I think as a fan, you're watching that game, you're frustrated, right? And I do follow a lot of what fans say online. I like to have a pulse on kind of like what fans are saying outside of this group, or let's just say the ones who have played and understand the game on a different level. And there's a lot of fans out there that think this whole excuse of they didn't play hard enough is just that, an excuse, like almost that the Devils are just better, and that they finally picked up their game. And it's kind of crazy to say the Rangers are not trying. It's not that they're not trying; they are trying. I mean, they're definitely trying, right? Or they're playing the game. But I don't know, Coach. I mean, there's just something about will, wanting to win more than the other team. That is, I think it applies to all sports, but specifically for hockey, when the games are this close and the teams are this close, how many puck battles in the corner is it going to be? 2 Devils and 1 Ranger? Or if there's 2 Rangers, there's 3 Devils. Easy zone exits. Say like little things like that comes down to desire. It's not really about they didn't try, but they have to find that extra gear inside them and want to win the game more than New Jersey. And I feel like that's what was missing. And that's what was refreshing to hear Gallant say, because I think it's true. I didn't think they played hard enough. I agree with him.
Well, I mean, let's face it. Don't say the Devils are better. We beat the hell out of them for the first 2 games, far more than 2-1.
Well, I didn't
they
say
came
that.
back.
I'm saying there are fans.
Well, I'm just saying. Let's keep it in perspective. We spanked them the first 2 games handily. They came back and beat us 2-1. I mean, there was a 3-1. Yeah, it was an empty netter. It was 2-1 games. One that we could have won. It was an overtime. The trying is, to me, there was 2 things. The giveaways, obviously, you pointed the stat out, and it's all over it's all on the internet and on NHL Network everywhere. The giveaways are ridiculous. I mean, yeah, the Devils probably changed things up, but they had way too many giveaways, and their power play. I know the Devils made an adjustment, but could it have been that much of an adjustment where we can't even get a shot on net or enter the zone? That was the big thing. What are we, 0 for 8 on the power play in the last 2 games?
Yeah. Yeah, we're 0 for 8. I mean, Little Ed, before we talk about all that, though, I wanted to get your take on the concept of will or desire and how that applies to hockey uniquely. And it's not about just trying, because fans are thinking, oh, they're trying. Like there's an extra gear you have to find. I just want your perspective on that too, having played.
It's that extra gear you have to find, and it's that extra gear that we saw in games 1 and 2 with Goudreau blocking shots, Tyler Mott blocking shots. I mean, they're not really getting a lot of ice time to really do things like that. The Rangers aren't really moving or playing as a unit, like all together, but you have to find that will to win. And I mean, Mikey and I keep joking around about Wet Bandits being back-to-back roller hockey champs, but it sounds stupid, but like the last couple seasons, things kind of like clicked for our team, and everyone kind of like came on the same page and like all like really want to win. Like we realize how much more fun it is, even in men's league, to win. And I think the Rangers played that way in games 1 and 2, and they spanked the Devils handedly. And I think they just went into games 3 and 4 with way too much like confidence and way too much like big brother attitude, thinking that they were going to go into it and just walk all over them again, and it was going to come naturally, and they weren't going to have to like dig deep like they did in games 1 and 2. So, I mean, like in summary, is like they have to dig deep and they have to realize, which they have to. They don't have a choice at this point. The series is tied up 0-0 again, pretty much. It's a brand new series. They have to treat it that way, and they have to come out like pretty much games 1 through 4 didn't even happen. And they got to come out like it's game 1 again and just come out flying and like don't worry about the other team on the other side of the ice. Just get back to the game plan, which they clearly didn't do in games 3 and 4.
I think Gallant's frustrated with the fact that they should have put their foot on their throat and buried them at home, and they didn't have that killer instinct. I think that's what he's more frustrated about. They took
but I mean, is that a surprise? I mean, when have the last time the Rangers finished a series victorious in less than 6 games was 2015. The Rangers do not finish series in less than 6 games. I mean, it's just not in their nature. It's not in their DNA. They go up 2-0, they fall apart, then they find it. Look, last year, the Rangers were in a worse position after 4 games. They were down 3-1 to Pittsburgh. And we were all sitting here like, oh, well, we got our experience and hopefully they learn from it next year. And then they came stormed back in game 5, down 2-0, stormed back in game 6 also and won that game. And then in game 7, tied it late and won in overtime. So this is a team that has it in them to, find that gear and make the right plays when it counts. But yeah, they're missing a killer instinct. They should have buried New Jersey in game 3. They should have that was a prime chance to take a 3-0 lead. It would have buried them. Even if they lost game 4, they'd be up 3-1 and in cruise control right now. But you got to look no further than the goal droughts. I know it's not all about stats. A lot, tell Rob, I'm sorry. Okay, but Zibanejad, no goals in his last 9 games. He's playing good. I think he's fine defensively. He's been great. A lot of takeaways. He's been on Hughes. I get it, but no goals in 9 games. No goals in the playoffs for Panarin. Trouba hasn't had a goal in 17 games. Hedl, none in his last 12 except for an empty netter. So none. Lafreniere, none in his last 9. Fox, 10. Miller, 9. Gaudreau, 20. 0 goals. 0 goals for all those guys. I mean, you just can't win without scoring goals. Like, it can't just be Tarasenko, Kane, and Kreider, and then they're the only ones that score goals, you know? So, I don't know. I mean, I get they're playing defensively and they're trying something different, but at the end of the day, we need our 90-point forwards to put up points. At some point, I mean, Panarin, coach, I don't think he can hit the net right now. How many prime chances is he sailing wide?
He's gripping the stick. He's going to need one of those ugly goals to light something up. Something's got to happen. Well, you know, tomorrow night's going to be a big test. See if they come to play. See if calling them out worked. And hopefully Panarin could put 1 or 2 in. He's got a good track record against the Devils, doesn't he?
I don't know. Look, I don't think he's playing like that badly. His finish is horrible right now. You know, I know he's Russian, but his finish isn't great, right? I don't know, Little Ed. I mean, I just ran off 8 guys with no goals in the last 10 games. Like, what's going to happen here? I mean, somebody's got to score.
Well, yeah. Shout out to Jeff and everyone over at Mind Your Pucking Business for having Coach Ed and I. But he asked me a similar question, and basically what I said was like games 1 and 2, and I guess even games 3, we gave Mika a pass. Obviously, games 1 and 2 because they scored 5 goals. They didn't need him to score. But game 3, he gave him a pass because he's able to shut down Hughes. But then in game 4, I think when we were watching the game together on the stream or whatever, we weren't live streaming, but we were just watching it. We said, like you said, get Zibanejad away from that line, and then Gallant did, and he switched him with Trocheck and put him at the second line or whatever, so he wasn't going up against Hughes and Hischier. So then what happened? What happens then? You know, so then at that point, he's got to find a spot to score. And all good centers, all elite centers are able to play that two-way game. I mean, we were talking so highly of him on the last episode after game 1 that he was able to shut down Hughes. I was like, when's this guy going to win a Selke? Well, now he's got to score and play both sides of the puck. He's got the defensive side of the puck, no problem. He's shutting the centers down. He's shutting Hughes down. Whoever he's out there against, penalty kill, everything, he's doing that great. But now he's got to find – there's going to be small windows in the playoffs that you're going to get that opportunity to score, and he's got to put those 1 or 2 chances in, or 1 out of the 2 chances that he's going to get the entire game. Has to go in.
Like Hughes is doing.
Like Hughes is doing. He's getting 1 lucky bounce, 1 lucky chance, and he's capitalizing on the situation. Yeah. Zibanejad's not doing that. He had an opportunity the other night to put a one-timer in. I think he missed wide, or he just shot into the goalie's chest. I mean, he's getting the opportunities, just not burying them. And Panarin, the same thing. He had that wide open net the other night. I think we were celebrating before he even took the shot, or at least I was. And he shoots it into the goalie's chest, or he misses the net. So it's just things like that where we're used to think those going in, and it's not happening, and it has to move forward, because even if they get past the Devils, they got to score a lot more goals to get to the cup.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what exactly, I tried to pay attention to what the Devils are actually doing differently in these 2 games. And yeah, they're clogging the middle. They're clogging the neutral zone. It's harder to bring the puck into the zone. They can't carry it in easily, right? But then the Rangers are just dumping it in, but they're not dumping it in with a purpose. They're just dumping it in. The Devils are getting the puck. They're getting a clean, easy zone exit, and then they're transitioning up ice. Games 1 and 2, that wasn't happening. You got to dump it in with a purpose. I think Valaquette said you got to get this goalie, this freaking 6'5" Swiss kid, for 5th-round pick who comes in and shuts us down. You can't make it up. I mean, you're literally if you texted me before the season started and you said the Rangers are going to make the playoffs and they're going to lose 2 games to a 6'5", 22-year-old kid from Switzerland who's got no NHL experience yet in the playoffs, I would be like, yeah, okay. But I would probably be like, yeah, that's probably what's going to happen, actually. I would agree.
Same thing happened last year with Louis Domingue.
Yeah, but Louis Domingue...
He frustrated the Rangers for 2 games.
So let's talk about Akira Schmid, because I feel like that's all NHL Network is talking about. It's all they talk about during the game. Literally, Sam and Joe cannot shut up about this guy. We can't even watch the MSG and get away from it. He comes into a tough spot. I get it. Down 2-0 in the Garden, wins 2 games. He played well. But, I mean, is he really that impressive? Or are the Rangers just not challenging him? I mean, I don't know. I'm curious on your take. Let's go around the horn on this, because I can't even watch NHL Network right now because of this issue. So start with Coach.
Well, that's what the media does. When Kreider had the 2 games with 2 power play goals, that's all you were hearing about that. You know, let's face it. It's like any other media. They just blow up on the story. The kid's in the limelight. They put him in down 2 games to none at Madison Square Garden. Crowd's going crazy. He's stopping the pucks he's supposed to stop. The goal they got was on the goal the other night in Game 4 was that was like their first rebound chance in 2 games. And it took 2 rebounds to put it in. They haven't had any secondary shots that I can remember. Any kind of flurry where the guy's bouncing around. Yeah, he doesn't flop around, but he hasn't had to flop around. There's nothing going on the.
That's my
there's
point.
Nothing going on the weak side. The Rangers are either the Devils are good defensively, but they're not that good. The goal that Hughes got, he was at the freaking blue line.
Yeah, it was cherry picking.
You know, if the Rangers, we and Eddie were talking about, the Rangers got to make them pay for that crap.
If the Rangers score that goal, if the Rangers put that puck in the net, it's blatantly Hughes' fault. Instead, Hughes gets a breakaway and scores. Because he's the center. He's not helping out down low. He's a scrum in front.
Well, he plays left wing sometimes.
Well, I think on that particular play, he was playing center. But either way.
Yeah. But they line him up on wing a lot for that reason, probably.
Maybe he plays wing in the defensive zone then, which makes sense.
Because they put him with Haula a lot. So Haula takes the draw, and Hughes plays wing, and then I don't know. I don't know what Hughes does, honestly, except cherry pick. He's good at it. So kudos to him. But yeah, your point's well taken. That goal could have changed. That play could have changed the whole game. If the Rangers score there, and they almost did, that's the difference in the game. Otherwise, it's 1-1. Right?
Yeah, the Devils are chasing. It's a whole different game. And just like Gallant said, if they score on the freaking power play, it's a whole different game too. You know, the whole thing changes.
So what happened on the power play, Coach? Like, what exactly changed? You know, what did the Devils do, or what are the Rangers not doing that's causing, this 0 for 8 after the domination of games 1 and 2?
I don't know. I saw in the first couple of games, Kane moving the puck, skating with the puck up the wall, coming into the middle, guys moving around. Then the last 2 games, I just see them all standing there, trying to get open, moving their stick, but no one's actually open. You know, the Devils are doing a good job. They moved the guy up to challenge Fox more. You know, they did a couple little tricks, but I mean, they should be able to adjust to that and make a different play. You know, it's a little scary. They should. I was surprised they didn't come out in the second or third period after talking in the locker room amongst each other, saying this is what we got to do when then we get another power play. They should have adjusted. We have superstars on that power play.
Yeah, it was working well in games 1 and 2, and they were leaving Kreider by himself alone, and they were just playing in that square or box, whatever you want to call it. And they were just Fox was able to stand at the top and just put shots on net with no screens, no problem. Now that the Devils are playing a little bit more aggressive, clogging up the center of the ice, all 5 guys have to be moving at all times. I mean, Kreider, I'm not saying Kreider shouldn't be in front of the net. That's obviously his spot, but he can't just be standing there anymore. He's got to be creating some havoc, creating some confusion for the defensemen. So they're not guessing, or they have to guess where he's going to be. They don't just know he's going to be on that back post. You got to switch to the right post, go behind the net for a second, get an outlet pass from Panarin or from Kane down low. You got to move things around. You can't just do the same play over and over and over again, especially now it's a 7-game series. The other team's obviously going to catch on after one or 2 games, especially the amount of power plays that these refs are calling.
Insane.
Which is a whole nother subject.
Well, I think you guys are both right. I think it's the motion on the power play was different. In the games. Obviously, Kane 2 primary assists in game 2 on the power play. Both of them came from him coming up the wall, like you said, Coach, and moving to the middle. But I think, it's interesting because it's like all seasons, Zibanejad on that blast from the left, the circle, has been the play on the power play. And Kreider kind of went by the wayside this year after breaking the Ranger record in power play goals in front of the net, right? He kind of went by the wayside and they shifted to Zibanejad. Now back into the playoffs, they're like, all right, let's go back to Kreider because everyone's waiting for the Zibanejad one-timer. And it worked. And now that they're covering Kreider again, it makes sense to me. Go back to Zibanejad. Like, they can't cover everything. If they're going to put a guy on Kreider, that
power play.
Then if they're putting a guy on Kreider the whole time, then there's a 4-on-3 between Fox, Kane, Panarin, and Zibanejad. And you're telling me that they can't move around a little bit to get Zibanejad a blast? 4-on-3,
Well, I mean, it's one thing. They got to set that play up. Like, that's what I'm trying to say is, like, they got to bait that play. I mean, everyone kind of knows it's coming. I mean, the Devils played against the Rangers a few times over the regular season. I mean, obviously they've watched videos, they've done their homework. Every team in the NHL knows it's Zibanejad or they're looking for that one-timer. So they got to try and bait that by getting the puck across to Kane, taking a shot from Kane's spot, taking a shot from Fox's spot, whatever the case may be, and then bait it to Zibanejad. And Zibanejad's got to bury one. He can't be missing the net wide and it wraps all the way around and goes down to the other end of the ice because that just kills the penalty for the Devils. So we can't be having stone hands like our guys over at Bella Marble.
Hey, Ranger fans, springtime is here, and that means 3 things. NHL playoffs are here, indoor-outdoor house projects are ready to start, and your tax refund check should be coming very soon to put towards those outdoor projects. So get going with that kitchen or bath project or even the bar top in your Ranger room in the basement. One thing for sure, when you're ready to order your custom countertop, you can count on Bella Marble and Granite for your needs. The large stores may toe drag you in with false discounts, dealing with multiple people, phone discussions over and over, and even those teleprompter phone calls where you have to hit buttons to try to talk to someone. Avoid that frustration and call the boys at Bella. Visit their shop. Very simple. Pick out your stone. When the job is ready, you'll be one-on-one with the owners. They'll come to the house. They'll template the countertop, cut the stone, bring it back and install it in a prompt and professional manner. Head on over to Bella Marble, Granite, and Quartz at 3459 Lawson Boulevard in Oceanside. That's in New York, not out in California. I know we have a worldwide platform now. Tell them Coach Ed sent you. Discuss a little Rangers chat over in the office. Maybe you'll get a little extra discount on the side. I've been dealing with them for 4 or 5 years on all my construction projects all over Long Island, and they've been steady and very professional all the way through. So give them a call over there and get going on those projects. Keep the wife happy so you can watch your playoffs all season long.
Love it, Coach. No, nice segue, Ed, by the way. Yeah, he does have stone hands, though. I mean, I don't know what he doesn't, but they're not hitting the net. You're right. Like, and I agree with you on the baiting, but I feel like they did that in games 1 and 2. Like, they baited. Like, the Devils adjusted to that. The Devils right now, they have a Haula on the top, going side to side, being in Fox's face, pestering Fox. But even with the aggressive power play, I'm just surprised. Penalty kill. I'm surprised the Rangers are not good against an aggressive penalty kill. How you beat an aggressive penalty kill? By having excellent stick handlers and puck movers. We have Adam Fox, Patrick Kane, and Artemi Panarin. They're 3 of the best stick handlers and passers in the NHL. So, like, I don't even know, like that shouldn't even be an issue. That should be an advantage for us. If they get aggressive, the Rangers should exploit that. That shouldn't be a detriment to the Rangers, my opinion.
Yeah.
And if they're gonna whatever.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. No, I was just gonna say, if they're gonna have one guy on Kreider, it's a 4-on-3 between 4 great puck movers. They got to figure it out. And I think part of the problem is they put Zibanejad in the bumper, and they got Panarin, Kane, and Fox on the walls. And Zibanejad is not good in that bumper spot. He had 2 prime chances on Schmid in game 3, or Schmid, or whatever his name is, that he stopped. They were point blank shots, and he didn't bury him. You're right. Give the kid credit for those saves, but I don't know. Panarin can't go in the bumper. Who goes in the bumper if not Mika? I don't know. I don't even know what the answer is. It's frustrating.
Tarasenko.
Well, then who do you take off the first power play? You take Kane off? You take Panarin off?
I can't have all the answers. You said who's going to go in the bumper?
No, Tarasenko would be perfect in the bumper. He would be perfect in the bumper. Honestly, he would be.
Take Heedle off of the unit. Take Heedle off of the second unit. I'm begging him. Can you message Gallant's Instagram, please?
Yeah, Heedle's not playing well. He played well in the first 2 games, but the last 2 games he's been terrible. I can't even defend him. He's every time he skates with the puck, I feel like he's going to turn it over, and then he does. He's not forechecking with a purpose. He's going in, he's like slamming into the wall, like make it look like he's like trying to hit the guy, but he's not making any contact with the defenseman. He's just slamming into the wall full speed.
He skates with the puck. The guy touches him, and it looks like the guy should have got a 5-minute major. That's how Heedle goes flying.
No, he's getting his pocket picked. I don't think he's playing well either. I'm the biggest Heedle defender out there. I'm just not happy with his game right now. But he was good in the playoffs last year. I think he'll fix it. I think the team will figure it out. It's just like I said, this episode is bad timing. So I want to just bring in the negatives, but also like we need to regroup just like the Rangers need to as fans. We need to just remember last year. Just remember, we were down 2-0 to Carolina. We won that in 7. We were down 3-1 to Pittsburgh. We won it in 7. So that, but the problem is that fans are also remembering that we were up 2-0 against Tampa and lost that in 6, right? So fans are also remembering that. And I think that's creeping into a lot of our heads, as fans, and we're getting worried, but I think they're going to come back with a better effort in Game 5. They're going to have a different game plan to adjust. Like we said, Coach, we talked about the Devils making adjustments after the Game 1 win. They didn't for Game 2, but they did for 3 and 4. And we said if they adjust, it'll be the Rangers' turn to adjust. Now it is. So let's see what the coaching staff has. I don't know if you thought about this at all, but like, what would you do differently? What would your game plan be for Game 5, like to change things up, assuming the Devils play like they did in Games 3 and 4?
I don't know if I changed too much, other than I'd have to watch the film a little more careful as far as the giveaways and what was causing those giveaways, because obviously that was the big difference. You look at Game 1, you said they had 0 giveaways. Game 3, they had what, 19?
No, they had 3 giveaways in Game 1, 6 in Game 2. 19 in Game 3 and 15 in Game 4.
I mean, that's the answer right there. What were the Devils doing different, and what decisions were we making? I'd have to see that more up close and have the video guy tell me what was going on. But to me, it looked like the Devils.
Speed. It's their speed.
I mean, the Devils were skating in Game 1 and 2. They had their speed. We were just beating them. We put a couple in. We scored on the power play, and they couldn't catch up. That was it. They had to bury one of those power play goals. Yep. And Game 2 doesn't even go into overtime. Game 3, I mean.
Yep.
They were 0 for 5.
I know.
That's ridiculous. That game doesn't even go into overtime.
Yeah. No, it's a big deal. We talk about puck management. Everybody talks about it, but Coach, you've been harping on that going into the playoffs for weeks. And 19 giveaways. That's a lot, dude. That's a lot of give. It's a lot of. It's one thing if you're like, they went from 6 to 10. Okay, you got to tighten up. 19. That's 3 times as many giveaways as they had in Game 2.
What did
Jeff say?
They
still went to overtime.
They quadrupled. What did he say? Quadrupled it? Something. Ed.
He's muted.
What, a mind your pucking business?
Yeah, what did he say? They quadrupled it?
Quadrupled it, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So let's go a little bit off the board here. I know we're not doing a full awards for this game, but let's take a little break in the episode and do I think a deserving Doghouse Award here for Coach Ed. And Coach Ed's Doghouse Award is brought to you by Suiter's Sweet Treats. We love Suiter's Sweet Treats. We got the cookies here for you. Check them out on Instagram and on Etsy. Coach Ed's Doghouse Cookie, expertly painted. They're just awesome. Obviously, the cookie situation is out of control. It's hard because I don't want to eat them and then I do. So it's like I'm trying to be picky on which ones I eat.
In lieu of getting heat off the power play unit 2, I ate the Filipino one that Meg sent over to me. So I ate that this afternoon.
My shadow box is currently under construction, but I got my Patrick Kane jersey out right now, and my Patrick Kane picture cookie.
Oh, those are dope. Yeah.
Head on over to YouTube to check.
Maybe
those
we need to do like a little bit of a ceremony where we all like eat the Stanley Cup cookie at the same time or something, and just kind of like.
I kind of like that.
It's just like sparks it or something, dude. I don't know.
I kind of like that.
Like maybe I don't know. Is it too soon? Like I don't know. We got to change something up. I told my wife, I was like, I got to change something. She's like, you're not affecting the series. Oh God, I have no vigil yet, so I'll think of something. But all right, Coach Ed, it's your doghouse. Obviously we're focused on games 3 and 4 here, but you got to put somebody in the doghouse, and don't just put Heedle in because he's been bad. Be honest about it.
I don't think Heedle's ever out from the regular season. No, I'm putting in the whole power play. Come on, it's obvious.
Yeah,
it's got to. That's the difference in the 2 games that they lost. Igor played good. He could, I think. He's playing really good, but even that freaking that used goal on the power play from the circle, he's got to stop that.
That's a snipe, man. It's tough.
He's got to stop it. Come on. They just talked about it in the Boston game. Any goalie that sees a puck clearly in the NHL stopping shots. Come on.
Yeah, second goal you're talking about last night, right? Or last game?
The power play goal he got.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the second one, the game-winning goal in game 4.
You should have had that one.
Definitely should have had that one.
Yeah. Got to stop that. But anyway, I'm not going to blame him for the loss.
Hughes goal in game 3 was a snipe, dude. I mean, it's going to happen. It's like saying the goalie should have had Kreider's shot. Like it was a perfectly placed shot. Like, what are you going to do? Those go in.
All right, I'm going to say if I was the other team, I'd say he should have had it.
Yeah, but you got to give credit. You got to give credit to the shooters too. When a shooter makes a perfect shot, it is what it is. The Siegenthaler goal, I had a problem with. I do think he wasn't set in position there. I agree, but dude, Igor right now at 941 save percentage, giving up less than 2 goals a game. I mean,
what do you want from that prop? I want him to stop those 2 shots.
Well, okay. So that would have been a sweep.
Wait, don't we always talk about him stealing a game? He's got to steal a game.
He might have to.
We got to win a game that we get outplayed. So anyway,
he hasn't had to.
Not his. I'm not putting Igor in the doghouse, but power play unit got to go in the doghouse. All
right, little Ed, who you got in the doghouse?
I'm going with Mika for the reasons we said before. If he's going to win that Selke, if he's going to be that elite 2-way center, he's got to take advantage of those small opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, but I can't disagree. Mikey?
I'm going with the bread man, the man who makes the most money on the team, probably has the puck on his stick the most on the team. Got to score. He's got to score.
$11.6 million per season, hampering our salary cap, probably forcing us to lose players. We got him for another, 3 seasons? He had a bad playoffs last year, gets called out through channels by the GM, and he's got a chip on his shoulder coming into the season. He's always happy-go-lucky. Easy guy to root for sure. 90 points, no issues. Like, I get it, the giveaways, but whatever, 90 points, you take them. Playoff hockey, no goals, 2 assists in 4 games for Artemi Panarin. And it's not like he hasn't had chances. He's had multiple chances to score and take control of the series and be that guy, and he's failed. So am I saying he's not going to score? Well, I mean, last year, I don't think he scored until the overtime winner in game 7 against Pittsburgh, right? So if I remember correctly, maybe he had one. So maybe, I still think he can, but yeah, I need more from the bread man. He's got to put the puck in the net. So I'm looking for him to step up in game 5 and, have a multi-point night so we can hear Sam say another multi-point night for Artemi Panarin when it actually counts. I agree on Mika too, but I give Mika a little bit of credit because, I was looking at the numbers more closely. I'm not looking the eye test. I agree with you. But I looked at Zibanejad in these 3 games. He had 2 giveaways and 7 takeaways. It's pretty crazy. So he's there, like you said, defensively. So I'll give him another game before I worry. But he's got to score too, so it's tough. All right, boys. Braden Schneider versus Michael McLeod in game 2. We didn't even get to enjoy that too much because we've been harping on
whoa. Who'd you put in the doghouse?
Panarin.
Oh, you did? Okay, I thought you said I'll agree. You didn't.
No.
I didn't hear you definitively put Panarin in.
No, I was giving Eddie some credit on Zibanejad, but I was explaining why I chose Panarin over Zibanejad.
All right, so you're going with Mikey with Panarin.
Yeah.
Coach almost had a heart attack.
Yeah, I know. Well, Coach, I was going to bring up your boy Braden Schneider. You got his jersey hanging there. Big bout with Michael McLeod.
Before we move on, go over to Etsy to place your order for Suitor Sweet Treats and use promo code EDPOD23 for the free doghouse cookie and maybe even a free little dog as well if Megan's feeling generous. So head on over to Suitor Sweet Treats Instagram and Suitor Sweets and More on Etsy. Promo code EDPOD23.
I'm sure Meg will throw a couple little bonus cookies in there for anybody.
Definitely. Now you can move on to Braden Schneider.
No, it's okay if you guys don't want to talk about the fight. I mean, I thought Coach Ed would be all over it, but
Coach, I was in heaven.
That was a hell of a fight.
He got him a couple of good shots early. I thought it was great.
Yeah, that was a good fight. And McLeod's a big dude. And I just feel like it lost a little bit of its luster on this pod because it's been, 3 games and they did lose the last 2. So it's like not a focal point, but it deserves being mentioned. I mean, Schneider, a 21-year-old kid, whatever. Really just, I don't know. I was impressed by that fight. And you don't really see a lot of fights in the playoffs, like true fights. You see a lot of scrums, but there's not really a lot of heavyweight bouts like that.
Kudos to him, though. He definitely held his own, and he definitely threw a couple of good shots. I was going crazy at the bar. I was down in Nashville watching that game. I was going crazy.
Oh, God. Is that right before or after you got kicked out?
Neither.
Oh, boys. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's we got to change it up here in game 5 and let's see where it goes. We got Mikey P this week? I didn't ask you that before. I forgot.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, because I'm looking at this bracket and I'm getting dizzy, so we need to bring on Mikey P.
Trivia, it's time to throw it over to Mikey P with your Rangers Ed 150, the fastest 150 seconds in the National Hockey Podcast League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rangers Ed 150 Playoff Edition. Round 1 is well underway, and what a show it's been so far. In the East, we got 4 series on the go. First off, Bruins-Panthers series is sitting at 3-1 in favor of Boston. They split games 1 and 2 in Boston, and then Bruins thrashed Florida in both games in Sunrise this past week to get the 3-1 series lead. The Bruins have been without Patrice Bergeron through games 1 through 4. He left the final game of the regular season against Montreal on April 13th with an undisclosed upper body injury and has yet to return. Bruins are hoping to get him back for Game 5 tonight, while on the other side of the coin, Aaron Ekblad has been out for the Panthers since Game 3, but will return for Game 5, along with Anthony Duclair, who has been scratched since Game 2. Pretty curious decision by Paul Maurice to start Sergei Bobrovsky in Game 4 after Lyon had played pretty well through the first 3 games. But after that performance by Bob, it's very unlikely that we will be seeing him in Game 5 tonight. Second series in the East is the Canes and the Islanders, and this has been pretty tough on the Canes. The team split games 1 and 2 in Carolina. Carolina took 2 and 3 in New York, and the Islanders won Game 5 in Carolina to put that series at 3-2 in favor of Carolina, heading back to New York on Friday. The Canes have lost Teuvo Teravainen and Jack Drury to injury. Some pretty tough hits doled out by the Islanders. And Sebastian Aho definitely lost a few teeth last night in a pretty unfortunate play where the puck bounced off his face right onto an Islanders stick and into the back of the net. All in all, it's been a pretty tough showing for the Islanders. They haven't generated much offense through this series. Canes' depth is really being tested with all these injuries. Should be an interesting Game 6 on Saturday night, and that Islander barn is going to be on wheels. Third series in the East, Leafs-Bolts. Tampa jumped out to a 1-0 series lead after they thrashed the Leafs in Game 1, but since it has been all Toronto. Toronto's put up 16 goals through the subsequent 3 games. Samsonov has been all right. He's done just enough to get the wins, but if they run into a team that is a bit more offensively gifted than Tampa is at the moment and has a bit of a better defensive structure than Tampa, the Leafs are likely going to be in for some trouble. Game 5 is in Toronto on Thursday night, so if you want to see an absolutely electric barn, tune in. Final series in the East, Rangers, Devils. I'll let the boys tackle this one in depth, but puck management and neutral zone play seem to be the keys here for the Rangers. Games 1 and 2, the Rangers controlled the puck well, clogged up the neutral zone to the point where the Devils could not get any manner of fast break offense going. In games 3 and 4, Rangers got lazy and the Devils uncorked. They were flying through the neutral zone, putting the puck in the back of the net. Rangers definitely have a better team here. We should see them show up for Game 5 with all the vets they got on that roster and all that playoff experience. There's no shot they do this 3 games in a row. Game 5 is Thursday night in New Jersey, which will also be on wheels on the heels of back-to-back wins by the Devils, so make sure you tune in for that. Out west, we have Vegas and Winnipeg sitting at 3-1 in favor of Vegas. The Jets stomped Vegas 5-1 in Game 1, but just like the Leafs, Vegas stormed right back and took the next 3, earning a 3-1 series lead. Jack Eichel was very quiet in Game 1, but has since put up 3 goals and 1 assist in the subsequent 3 games. The Jets, on the other end, have been hammered by injuries. They've lost Scheifele in Game 4. Ehlers and Morrissey as well are both out. Scheifele is supposed to be playing Game 5, but definitely no Ehlers and definitely no Morrissey, so it's going to be a tough road for the Jets if they want to claw their way back into this one. Game 5 is Thursday night in Vegas, and I'm saying Vegas takes this one. Next, we have Colorado and Seattle, which has turned out to be one of the best series in the first round. Each team split their home games to leave the series tied at 2-2. Seattle Kraken are giving the defending Cup champs fits. Seattle is team full of second-line players, just like Vegas was in their inaugural season when they went to the Stanley Cup Finals. Game 5 is tonight in Colorado, and the Avalanche will be missing Cale Makar after he received a 1-game suspension for his late hit on Jared McCann in Game 4. Third series out west is Dallas, Minnesota, and this has been a seriously physical affair. Dallas lost Joe Pavelski in Game 1 to a hard hit delivered by Matt Dumba, and also lost that game. Since the series has gone Dallas, Minnesota, Dallas, Minnesota, Dallas, and Dallas, leaving it at 3-2 in favor of Dallas. The Wild looked really good. Kirill Kaprizov has basically been absent through this entire series. He's only put up 1 measly goal through the first 5 games. So if the Wild want to get back in this one, they need to get Kaprizov going. They also need to stick with Gustafsson. Pretty bad coaching blunder starting Fleury in Game 2. Definitely didn't work. Stick with Gustafsson. Finally, we got Edmonton, LA sitting at 3-2 in favor of the Oilers. It's been a great series, just like last season. Kings are struggling to keep up a bit with the pace of the Oilers. The Kings definitely play a bit of a more structured game, while the Oilers tend to lean a bit more on their run-and-gun offense. Big Three and McDavid, Draisaitl, and Kane were reunited for Game 5. And the Oilers' 6-3 win over the Kings in Game 6 is Saturday night in LA, and that's going to be a very hostile barn if you're wearing blue and orange. Ladies and gents, we've had some fantastic playoff hockey so far, and Thursday night is a real big one for the boys in blue. Next week, we'll be talking about second-round matchups, so tune in for those series-clinching games, as they're surely to be very intense affairs. Until next week, this has been your 150.
All right, I think I'm
Well-
dizzier now.
Well, Mikey's confident for the Rangers.
Listen, again, like it's an interesting question I've seen posed. Obviously, playoff games, every game is, I hate to use the word must win, right? Because it's not a must win in game 5 because you got to win 4. So no team can win the series tomorrow night. But if you had to say who needs to win game 5 more, Rangers or Devils, Little Ed, who do you think is more important that they win that game if they want to win the series?
Got to be the Rangers. I mean, that's a tough question to ask a Ranger fan on a Rangers podcast, I think.
Yeah.
But no,
No,
I mean,
objectively.
No, I'm trying to be as objective as possible. I'm still sticking with the Rangers because if the Devils win another game, they clearly have the momentum. That's 3 wins in a row. Then it's going to be really hard to stop them in that 4th game, which would be game 6. So I think the Rangers definitely got to take this one back in Newark. And then, you keep bringing up last year and bringing up memories of last year, whatever, but you saw what the Rangers did in Carolina. They went to Carolina after Carolina was, though, the best home team in the playoffs. So clearly the Rangers don't really care about the home ice advantage, especially in Jersey. So they definitely got to take this one.
Mikey?
Yeah, I think that's a very tough question because, I mean, if you say New Jersey and then we go down 3-2, then every game is a must-win for the Rangers. So I'd rather get it done sooner than later. Definitely a must-win for tomorrow night for the Rangers.
Okay, Coach.
I think they need to shake this kid up. They need to beat this goalie up a little bit, get rid of his confidence, and then the series will be over. Right now, he's very confident the way the team's playing in front of him and how he's playing, and they got to put a few in.
Yeah, I
And
hear
then
what I hear what you guys are saying. I just honestly really think the Devils have more pressure on them right now because if the Rangers win game 5, I know the Devils just won 2 on the road and we just won 2 in Newark. But, coming back to the Garden up 3-2, having corrected the issues, the Rangers are in a really strong position there. I think that'll, attack the Devil psyche a little bit. Obviously, look, the winner of game 5 is going to have the edge going into game 6, obviously. So no matter who wins game 5, it's going to be that way. But I think this is a Rangers team that just likes to win in 7 games. So, that's why before the series, I took Rangers in 7, and I probably going to be right, unfortunately. It's going to probably go 7. Hopefully I'm right that they win, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to be 6. We'll see. Hopefully for you guys it is, because you guys will be there. So that would be an awesome event to go to. But yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of disgruntled Rangers fans out there right now. You just go on Rangers Twitter and just scroll through, and there's a lot of people anxious for this game. Extra day off. You brought up the home ice thing, Ed. So I wanted to ask Coach this actually, and I'm glad you said it because it reminded me. Gallant, Coach, he said, I don't know if you saw his press conference after game 4.
Yeah,
he said that, or maybe it was today. Maybe it wasn't game 4. It was like one of the media day interviews. He said he doesn't really think nowadays there is a home ice advantage anymore. It's not really the way it used to be. He said back in the day, there'd also be 7 fights in the first period, before the game got going. So he said it's a different game, but he said the way the game is played these days, kind of saying it's a softer game, that the edge at home on home ice is not really a thing anymore. That everybody's comfortable playing in every arena. Do you think there's any truth to that?
I would agree with him. I'm sure back in the day when he was playing, there were always those stories about, like when you played in Chicago, the visitors' locker room was like a closet. Stories about arenas like that. Now I think everything's got to be more of an even keel. Everybody, you got to take care of the opposing team, and there's massage guys, there's doctors, there's this, there's that. Back then it was probably like, well, the doctor can't see you yet. So stuff like that, little game playing going on. So I'm going to agree with him. I think the only advantage is that line change at the face off and stuff like that. That's the only place I'll say it is the advantage. I mean, a lot of teams, Colorado has a great road record. A lot of the better teams have a really good road record. Minnesota, they
Devils,
won like 11,
Rangers.
the Devils, and all these good teams. The road records are what it's about, and they're all pretty good at it. So
yeah, even the Islanders are pretty good on the road. I mean, it's an interesting point.
With him.
Yeah, it's an interesting point.
And none of the rinks really have, like back in the day, you would play in like the old Boston Garden where the puck would be dead in the corner off the wall, and they knew to dump it in there. Stuff like that. Everything is more on an even scale now. You know what I mean? Some of the older arenas would have little nuances that you had to figure out. So you might have a home ice advantage, the backdrop, different things like that.
Yeah, it's true. Like last year or so, going all these 7-game series became very expensive because I in game 5 against Pittsburgh, I ordered Uber Eats and the Rangers won. So I ended up having to order it game 6 and game 7, and then every single game of the Carolina series, and then all 6 games against Tampa, and it became really expensive. So this year, Theo told me, she's like, all right, no Uber Eats this year, like find something else.
Well, you better go back to Uber Eats.
So I've been trying to look for something else, but I might have to order Uber Eats game 5. But I saw we went on the stream, Ed. I know it wasn't a live stream, and just before you start talking, you're muted. But I know it wasn't a live stream. Yeah. It wasn't a live stream, but I saw you guys had a spread the other day that looked incredible. And you sent me all the pictures of the pizza, by the way. Thank you for doing that. I always like when you send me that. You gotta talk about the spread you had going on.
Yeah, I mean, we officially locked down the partnership with Sorrento's of Long Beach. It's been one of our favorite pizza places, if not our favorite pizza place on Long Island. And people from Long Island, I'm sure you've heard of it. Yeah, I mean, not to bring the mood down, but a couple of years ago, their old location caught fire and they lost the place. So their new location, I was in there the other day, is beautiful. They're very welcoming, so go in there and check them out. They got a ton of it's like an Italian deli, so they got a lot of like fresh pasta that you could buy, box pasta, things like that, all different kinds of breads, pastas, like I said, pizza, sandwiches, salad, you name it. So yeah, they hooked us up with a large vodka pie with grilled chicken and fresh mozzarella, and a tray of eggplant parmigiana, and a Sorrento salad, which I was expecting enough salad to maybe feed like 4 people. This salad probably could have fed 6 to 8, Coach?
Yeah, I think Kathy was eating that Saturday night.
Easily. Had like a whole bag of mozzarella cheese on it, like a whole like shredded bag, like whatever, but it was fresh. Everything was fresh. Olives, tomatoes,
I'm still working on the pizza too.
Yeah. I have a few slices frozen in my freezer, so might have to whip those out tomorrow for a good luck charm. So head on over to Sorrento's, and I put together a little reel. Coach Ed did a little food review, so I think Mikey's got that queued up for us. And head into Sorrento's. You can call them, you can order online, and just mention the boys from Rangers Ed, and you'll be taken care of. And like I said, it's some good eats. So Mikey, what do you got? Godfather.
Hey Ranger fans, here with our newest sponsor, Sorrento's Pizza in Long Beach. We got a nice little vodka pie with grilled chicken on it.
That is phenomenal.
Little salad, arugula salad. And how about this little nugget? A little shaped like an egg mozzarella with a tomato in the middle. And then we got a little eggplant parm here. have never tasted a pizza crust like this in my life, just to let everybody know. Fresh mozzarella, delicious grilled chicken.
Listen to
Gonna take
Sam
a
in the
little
background.
butter,
It's a nice move there, Coach.
put it
I
inside
like
the
that
crust,
Look at that.
It was an unexpected move for the food review.
add a little flavor. You got to adapt to the situation, fellas.
We got a score out of 10.
And we're ready for game 2.
What do we got out of 10?
This is at least an 8.5, 9 out of 10 for me. Salad dressings off the charts, not too much vinegar.
Oh, so we're going overall meal 8 out of 10.
Pizza is an 8.5, 9 out of 10.
The music makes it.
Unbelievable.
Another classic reel, Ed.
Coach, I don't know. Like, I think every single food review, you take a bite and food drops. Like, you can't take the whole bite into your mouth. Like, you bite and like something falls, and then you like go to catch it every single time.
I think he might do it on purpose so that some of it falls in the beard, so he has some for later.
Yeah, so you eat it later. Like
I gotta get the rebound.
Yeah, so we might have to pull a Cousin Ed and order from Sorrento's tomorrow night. Hopefully they take care of us, and so we don't have to keep doing this.
Do they deliver to Miami or
Flash freeze it?
Yeah, so I mean, real quick, they have a whole list of all the ingredients on their website, and you could just customize the pizza however you want it. They have a bunch of different sauces, different size pizzas. You can go for the classic round or the large square. We always go with the large square Sicilian style. Someone actually commented on the Instagram post saying square pizza. Like, I've never seen that before. And cousin Anthony replied Sicilian style or something like that. It was funny. So
yeah. I like the traditional round, but I do like a good Sicilian slice. I don't know about a whole.
This is
pie,
thin.
though.
This is thin Sicilian though. It's not the thick like the always
it's like
Sicilian.
a flatbread.
Yeah, it's more of like a I guess grandma style. I think we'll call it instead of Sicilian style.
Yeah, grandma style. Is that the crust shape or is that the sauce? I think
Just like the really thin with the fresh mozzarella and this like the chunkier sauce sometimes.
Yeah, it's good.
It's
with
basically a round pizza in the shape of a square. It's not really a thick crust.
Exactly.
That's what we're saying.
What a visual.
Yeah, Coach. Oh man,
Just
thanks.
find
Coach.
out for yourself and go to Sorrento's and order your own. And
You
tell
will
them
not be
Rangers
disappointed.
Ed sent you.
I'm like drooling here. I didn't even eat dinner yet. All right. Well, boys, let's.
And I don't know how
feel.
I don't know how Phil like that bill of an Uber Eats from Sorrento's. I got a $4,000 bill from Sorrento's Pizza.
If you order it now and they leave, they might get there for game time.
Yeah.
I think there's a thing called Gold Belly. You guys know what that is? So you can order food from out of state. So if you wanted like a special food from like Chicago, you can like order it and they'll ship it to you frozen.
Wow.
So you can get like Long Island bagels and you can do all types. I've done it before. I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out. I'll check it out. All right, boys, we gotta win game 5. I'm sure I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night, and I don't know. Let's see. Maybe one of these days we'll try our own live stream. We won't do as good a job as Devil's State of Mind, though.
I mean, if you want to do it, we'll do it. I mean, these games have been a little too nerve-wracking. So maybe if we, I don't know.
It's hard. It's hard. I'm on the edge of my. We're just gonna sit there quietly, like staring at the screen.
Yeah,
The thing is,
I'd like to at least have the footage like we did last game. So maybe we could at least watch together like we did. That was fun.
No, but what I do want to do, I really want to do this. We could do like a preseason game or something, or a regular season game. I want to like come to New York, come over to your house, and sit next to you like Sam and Joe, and make fun and do like a Sam and Joe calling the game.
That we could definitely arrange
for like at least a period. We got to do it.
Yeah, that'd be
Anyway.
hilarious.
All right, fans, enjoy Game 5. We'll be back next week to recap the end of the series. Hopefully, we'll have a little more of an upbeat episode. Stay positive. The Rangers still here, control their own destiny. They just got to win 2 out of 3, like Little Ed said. Start like it's 0-0. So stay positive. Thank you to our sponsors and partners and fans for listening, and enjoy the games.
Let's go Rangers.
Let's
No
go,
quit.
boys. Let's go Rangers.
Great
No
job,
quit in New
fellas.
York, baby. Let's go.